Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope you are all having a very nice day today, wherever you are in the world. I'd like to continue, if I may, with my discussion of my favorite releases from the Criterion collection from this year, which was the year 2019. Today, I'd like to focus my attention on the cover art designs. As you know, the Criterion collection is very popular among film fan enthusiasts for a lot of reasons. One of those reasons is, of course, the fact that the Criterion collection employs really amazing and striking artwork to use for cover designs for physical media releases, DVDs and Blu-rays. So even now, these cover art designs are part of the appeal and charm of the Criterion collection. They form a great basis for lively and energetic conversation among film enthusiasts and Criterion collection fans and the like. The cover art is in many ways very important in terms of Criterion branding, in terms of branding regarding a particular film. It's also very important in trying to represent a film, what it stands for, somehow trying to capture the essence of a film in one visual representation or visual thematic representation that carries through the entire packaging of that particular release, if you will. Sometimes this visual representation can be made in the form of the use of a film still. Sometimes it can be made in the use of poster art, pre-existing poster art. Oftentimes it might be through some kind of photographic representation, and other times it could be through some kind of new artistic rendition of a particular point, scene, character, or feeling or essence or theme that in some way or another connects directly to what the entire film is about. So I think throughout the entirety of the Criterion collection, we have seen examples of all of this. And 2019 is no exception to that. So I'd like to talk to you, if I may, about my 5 favorite cover art designs from this year from the Criterion collection. Once again, these are my own choices, and so your choices will very likely differ from mine. And that is not only perfectly okay, that is really great. It's great to have differences of opinion. And I think that is especially so for this particular discussion, because we had so many releases this year that each had, of course, its own set of art. So I would be surprised if your list was exactly the same as mine. I would actually be happier to see differences in your lists versus my own lists. So that is to say that I think there's much room for varied discussion. There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of scope in terms of what has been used as artistic representations for these releases. And that's just a testament to how strong the Criterion collection was this year, 2019. So with that, my friends, I would like to now share with you my 5 favorite cover art designs from the Criterion collection from this year, 2019. Number 5. This is spine number 1001. This is the film called The Day Trippers. The Day Trippers. And the art is credited to R. Kikuo Johnson. So R. Kikuo Johnson is credited as being the artist for this cover design. This is such a really delightful film that I think is also quite deceptive in terms of its delightful qualities. And I say that because the film offers much more than meets the eye. Now, when I say the eye, I'm talking about its surface qualities. And believe me, it has many great surface qualities in terms of a kind of New York story, in terms of a family story, as a kind of mystery film about what is going on with a particular spouse, and also all the family dynamics that come with this story and with these characters. And that's a great basis. That is a great situation that this film finds itself in. So even if its so-called surface qualities, I think, are quite great, and I think even the term surface qualities might suggest something of a disparaging quality, and I don't mean that at all. I'm just talking about levels and layers of a film that I think are quite common in any work of art, let alone a work of cinema. And that's certainly the case, I think, for the Day Trippers. And I say that because it might seem like a certain type of film on its surface, but when I try to think about it, I realize that there are quite profound moments of epiphany and discovery, and also a self-awareness or lack of self-awareness on the part of certain characters in the film, and how we relate to each other in what we say and what we do, and what we profess, what we think we know, and what we think we believe in, our belief systems that end up being challenged due to day-to-day living situations. And so I really love this. It has a day-to-day quality, and it has, therefore, maybe a seemingly inconsequential quality. But I wouldn't let that part of the film pass one by, because I think in actuality, it is a film of great consequence, and therefore I find the film to be utterly charming and delightful on the one hand, and also something quite deep and utterly moving on the other. And we're talking about this quest, if you will, of discovery in terms of many threads of character. This is The Day Trippers, and I've picked this for terms of its cover art because I really love this depiction here. It has a kind of comic book quality. At the same time, it does depict a particular moment in the film where all of the main characters are emerging. It's kind of an early moment of the film, an early scene, and we have they're running, which is a street in New York, and there's also all the characters outside, and there's also the car in the back with the driver, which is also very significant. So I love this. It has a comic book quality feel, which suggests perhaps and its use of color and the facial expressions and the artistic rendition might suggest, on the one hand, a sort of delightful, a delightful fare, if you will. But also, if we look closely, there are little details that give way to certain quirks of character that eventually lead to deeper consequences and great moments of discovery and epiphany, as I was trying to suggest before. So I really think that this cover art, in many ways, is very suggestive of the seemingly simple nature of the film, and yet it suggests something very profound and deep. So there's a duality here that's at play, and I feel like I can read a lot of that into this particular cover art, and not only that, it feels fresh. I love its use of color, and I love its style. It has a nice zany style that has a great feeling of kinetic movement, and it makes it very exciting. So this is my number 5 choice for favorite cover art design. This is the cover art design for The Day Trippers. Next is my number 4 favorite cover art design. This is Spine 966. This is the film Detour. The artist is credited as being Jennifer Dionisio, and this artwork for this really exceptional film noir film is great, really great. This film is savage, it is breathtaking, it is dark, it is seedy, and it is clever, and it is deadly and perverse and very seductive, and it does its job and then some. It really packs a punch. I love the look of this film, and I love the look even now with this beautiful, beautiful presentation that Criterion Collection has helped to bring to audiences at home like myself. And as I say, it's an excitingly savage and dark film that is an exemplar. It is a shining light in this genre of film noir, and oh, so captivating and terrifying and seductive. What a film this is. It packs a wallop. This is the film Detour. Now, if we look at this cover art, I love this retro yet modern take on this film. Now, what do I mean by this? On the one hand, my friends, when I was thinking of what could be appropriate artwork for a film like Detour, I would never have thought of using a kind of yellow motif and applying that with this yellow, white, and black motif all the way down to the yellow tinges in the lipstick there, if you notice. Really quite interesting. But the more I think about it, the more I really love this, and I thought about this a lot, and I love this artwork to bits. It has, as I say, it has this great in-your-face quality that does not hold back. And I think that is very much akin to the film quality itself. It's a film that itself does not hold much back. It has a lot of things that are presented almost in an in-your-face type of style. And there is also something seething and something lurking underneath that is also, I think, captured with a really nice sense of verve in this cover art. And as for the use of yellow, there is a sense of yellow and like the use of yellow and road signs. And I think if you know the film, you know that road signage might be an important thing. Being on the road and driving is also a key theme of the film. And so there's almost a subliminal link that the use of yellow seems to be making with this idea of being on the road, as it were. And that's further helped by these motifs here of the white and the black, and the use of lines, parallel lines going zigzags and going diagonally this way and that way to suggest some kind of road, if you will. Also, the road of fate, things leading to an ultimate destination, and that ultimate destination being a place that might not be the brightest place in the world. It might be a place that is very dark indeed. And if you know the film Detour, I think you might know what I'm trying to get at. So this is, I think, a very bright cover art that is that splashes with a great deal of beautiful audaciousness, and it evokes the film, I think, to a T quite nicely, and it still has a sense of non-restraint, but in a very tasteful and elegant way. This is the cover art for Detour. I love this. This is my number 4 choice for favorite cover art from 2019 from the Criterion Collection. detour. Next, this is for the films 791 and 792. The cover art is credited as being by Jeremy Enesio. This is Police Story and Police Story 2. Now, this is a digipack, as you know, and this is the cover of the actual digipack itself, which is that. And then when we have the actual body of the release, we have Police Story and Police Story 2. I find this artwork to be just jumping off the page, in a manner of speaking. There is a great use of color, and there is a great sense of action and speed, and just an electrifying sense of energy that is captured in each of these artistic depictions. They are I think, meant to depict certain moments of these films and certain shots that we catch in key action scenes from Police Story and Police Story 2, respectively. And so I think those who know the films will recognize where these artistic renditions are coming from. And even the digipack cover art itself, I think people will recognize where this is coming from as well, with the bruised face of Jackie Chan, with his wardrobe, and also the glass, and how that shattered glass appears quite prominently in one of the films to great effect. And so I love this because not only can I feel the action, not only can I feel the breath of a kind of an unyielding sense of a heart-pounding action with each of these panels, but I also can also sense the sound. You know, I can also almost feel like I can hear the sounds of the breaking glass, for instance, as I see these shattered points, these jagged edges, and you know that is also extended to the inside of the pack as well, if you can see. And of course, Jackie Chan's name is prominent, as it should be, because these films are Jackie Chan is integral to both of these films in many, many ways. I love the use of color, I love the font use, and I love the, as I said, I love the artistic depictions that really capture a sense of action. Most importantly, for me anyway, I love its loving depiction of Jackie Chan himself. He is caught in moments of sort of hair-raising hijinks, and also moments sort of captured in eternity, in the middle of really death-defying stunts and really breathtaking fights and stunt sequences, and they're all here. So this is, I think, if you know this film, you'll know what scenes these are. But then if we go back to the original cover art here for the box itself, for the digipack itself, it's just Jackie Chan straight on doing what it is he does best, trying to fight the good fight and portray that in a way that is earnest and lovable and heroic and oh so Jackie Chan. So this is my number 3 choice for my favorite cover art from the Criterion Collection in 2019. Police Story and Police Story 2. Next is spine number 995. This is new cover art, which is credited as being by Sam Hadley with Raphael Gironi. This is the film Polyester. So this is a film that I've spoken about in a previous video in a slightly different context. But in terms of cover art, my friends, I find this cover art to be absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. It really finds the right it finds the right tone in capturing a feeling of romance novel melodrama on the one hand, and then also a great campy, lovable quality on the other hand, that is also infused with a light touch of comedy and also a sense of high drama that might even verge or border on the tragic or the quasi-tragic. And also it all comes down to a sort of romance or a tale of passion that is dealing with, at its heart, at its center, the great character of Francine Fishpaw as portrayed by the one and only Divine. So this is the cover art for Polyester, and I feel like this cover art captures the essence of everything that I tried to convey in these last few seconds of this video, which is getting at the heart of this film. So there is, on the one hand, there is a nice campy quality to this cover art, and at the same time, I feel there is a genuine earnestness that is also here, and I really love that too, because I feel like that is such a great way to describe the works of John Waters. When he's firing on all cylinders, he really has a sense of caring for his characters on the one hand, and also being able to carry through this one-of-a-kind, almost, for lack of a better phrase, campy way of looking at the world, but somehow using that and combining those elements to try to reach something that is trying to say something. So I really admire that very much about John Waters' work, and Polyester is no exception to that. I find that works to be very biting in terms of its commentary, as well as being incredibly funny and just over-the-top ludicrous in many aspects. But I think that's the point, and I love the film for that. And the cover art captures those elements perfectly and beautifully with this wonderful cover design that I absolutely adore. It's like just a wonder, and the font too, everything down to the font, and John Waters and the two characters there in their sort of embrace, as you will. So this is wonderful. My number 2 favorite cover art design from 2019 from the Criterion Collection. This is Polyester. And last, but certainly not least, my number 1 favorite cover art design from the Criterion Collection from 2019. I said cover art design, but perhaps it would be more accurate for me to instead say cover art designs, S, plural. And the reason for that is my choice is Spine 1000. This is the set, which is Godzilla, the Showa era films, 1954 to 1975. I have spoken about the cover art designs for each of the films as they are included in this book. As you know, this is a collective work in terms of cover art designs from many different artists that are not only coming together to contribute art for the overall concept, but also art for each of the films in this set. And as you know, there are 15 films from the Showa era that are included here. So this release is a monumental release for many reasons, but one of the reasons for that is how it is using art in a colorful, vivid, imaginative, pop art type of way to depict the big guy, Godzilla, in many different aspects. And they go sometimes into very radical directions. Sometimes they go in directions that I could never have been able to conceive on my own. But to see the depictions, I feel they got it just right. The use of color, the use of shapes, and the use of different imaginative avenues for each of the films, in trying to capture the essence of what's going on here with each of the films is really brilliant. And the fact that the artwork is going towards something different and unique to each film is something to respect, because I really believe that each film has its own character and feeling and style. There are similarities, don't get me wrong, but there are also unique distinctions to be made. And I think the artwork that the Criterion Collection is presenting here is so emblematic of that, and I have to respect that immensely. I, as I say, made a separate video discussing each of the cover art designs for each of the films as included in this set. So if you want to look at that and look at my specific comments or detailed comments, I would just very respectfully direct your attention to that particular video, which a link for which can be found in the description box below. So if you're interested, you can catch a discussion of my comments on the cover art for each of the specific designs as found in this set. As once again, it is a collective whole. There are many artists that are involved here, not just one. So there's a wealth of great renditions and interpretations and the like that I think would please just about everyone. So this is my favorite cover art design, or set of cover art designs from this year, 2019, from the Criterion Collection. And that is Godzilla, the Showa era films, 1954 to 1975. Okay, my friends, that's it for now. What do you think? Do you have any favorite cover art designs yourself? If so, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, I would love to hear what it is you have to say. You always have great things to say. Your comments are always interesting and informative, and they help inspire me further. So if you have a chance, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think were some of the great examples of cover art from this year, 2019. So until we meet again, my friends, please be happy and healthy and well, and please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. So until we meet again, my friends, cheers.